Let's quickly change tack by looking at the election season in Nigeria, and the political space is really buzzing. There are more than 84 million registered voters in Nigeria, and youths aged 18 to 40 constitute more than 60% of the registered voters. There is an indication that Nigerian youths have the power to change the direction of Nigeria and elect the kind of leaders they want. This should also serve as a booster for more youths to participate in electioneering process contests for political offices and emerge victorious. This hasn't been the case, though, as youths have over the years shown apathy towards elections in the country. In 2018, President Muhammad Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law to encourage youth participation. Let's talk this through by speaking with the convener, We Together, Ibrahim Abdul Karim. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've got quite an interesting initiative, but could you talk to us about what your group seek to achieve come 2023 as regards youth participation in election?
Actually, as the name implies, We Together. When we are calling the young people in Nigeria, it's just to tell them that no matter how agitated we are, no matter how angry we are, we can't just change the process by just lamentation or just by being on the fence. We just have to be in the system. We have to learn how to do it, and we have to be with these people as well to do what we're supposed to do. And we have to have a strategy towards that. For example, we have seen all what is happening in the country. All of us are not happy. The young men, I think that maybe we have not been taking part of the system for us to govern ourselves or to be hard in trying to see what is going to happen in the next 20 to 50 years of this Nigeria. So actually what we intend to do is that we try to go to the core root of the problem. Let's see what are the main issue in Nigeria. Is it the answers? Is it the ASU strike? Is it the skill node? Anything you pick up is just the periphery. Is there is something that is just at the core. And what is that at the core is that life of Nigeria doesn't matter. So we said we have to raise the value of human life. If we can raise the value of human life in Nigeria, then we will have easy ways for us to think of the kind of leaders we need to lead us. Because if you talk about roads are supposed to be good roads without potholes. Because of what? Because they want human beings, because they respect the life of a human person. If you want good hospital, it's because of the life of a person. If you want good school to be somebody like you, it's the same thing. It's because of they value the life of a person. But when you see people crowded in a car, jam-packed, you see hospitals not working and things like that, that's been the value of life is very, very low. Once people are just selling drugs and things like that, that's been the value of life is very low. That's been the agencies that you see in government, from standard organization to NDLEA to NAFDAC, all of them are trying to make sure of one thing, just to protect. That's why the entirety of what governance means is that to protect lives and property. So we said, young men, you constitute the largest percentage of this, and then it's from you, even the next generation of leaders are going to come. So the question is that we have to bring them together. If you are bringing them together, you have to put them on an ideology. You cannot just put them behind somebody. If you now gather them and say, okay, say Baba, say so person, that's mean if that person is not there, or after he changed direction, that's mean the whole concept is going to go.
Well, one thing, let me quickly jump in. The nation at this period is, the nation at this period is where people are divided along ethnic lines, political lines. But how do you now harness all of these, the potentialities that the youth have in ensuring that the culturally diverse people are brought together? So what platform are you bringing them on? Is that a platform? You mentioned ideology. Talk to us about this exact ideology. What should we be having at the back of our minds?
What we're supposed to be having behind our mind is that we have to have a worldview. As a nation, how did you want the world to see you? We want to see a country, a Nigeria, that is going to be built not only for Nigerians, but for Africa. Not only for Nigerians, for the whole black race in the world. That's mean the kind of leaders we're supposed to have in Nigeria, the kind of leaders are now thinking that I'm going to create an education system that is going to help the whole of Africa. Because this is what the founding fathers is exactly, that's what we call it the We Together DNA. That's exactly where the foundation starts. But if you reduce the value and the size of what you want to do, then you start to see yourself into regions. Then you start to see yourself into Muslim and Christian. Then you start to see, because you have reduced the value of what you want to do. I think that's what gives us the problem we are today. Then what we created this one, if you look at the guiding principle, we said we are not going to tolerate any religions in what we are going to do. We are going to do no gender violence, no gender bias, no class differences. What we just want is Nigerians that feel that it's the right time now for us to do the right thing. And then the first thing we're supposed to do is that we have to create citizens, because nations are created by citizens. So you can create a nation when you don't have people that have the country in their heart. Most of the people that I will call them so-called, they are corrupt and things like that, we think that these are the people that maybe along the way, the DNA of those our Nigerian founding fathers slipped away from their body. So they feel they belongs to their group, or they belongs to their religion before belonging to Nigeria. But the truth of the matter is just simple. No matter how agitated you are, no matter how unhappy you are, you're still going to carry a great purpose to do any transaction with anybody in the world. So that's me. Your country is very, very important, and very, very vital to you.
Right,
so this is the ideology you want to put
I'm still kind of being at sea at when you said that we won't tolerate religion.
Yeah.
Not that you will not tolerate religion, but it is very possible for you to extricate religion or religious activities from Nigerians, because you know that this country, when it comes to religion, talk about the Christians, the Muslims, we don't generally, so to speak, that we don't joke with our religion.
Of
so
course.
anytime we are thinking along that line. So if you're not putting that into consideration, how then can you win the heart of the people?
No, what I want you to understand, don't put this into my word, but what I'm trying to say, the purpose of religion is to make somebody a good person.
Right.
It's not to make you a clergy person or to make you the best person that goes to mosque or go to church. It's supposed to be a good person. That's mean you could be good to your neighbor, for example. It's in Islam, it's in Quran. That's mean if you meet somebody in your office, it's your neighbor. If you meet somebody in the bus, it's your neighbor. If you meet somebody in the area, it's your neighbor. In school, it's your neighbor. And you're supposed to protect that person. It's the same value we're saying, and we together.
Right.
And churches are community, mosques are community, but this community, are they producing the right people that are leading us? Actually, no. So what we see is that we have to change the thinking. Let religion be something that guides you, guides the principle, guide the way you think, guide the way you react to people, guide the way you handle our pulse, that's the economy, everything that has to do with people. Because God, you have God in you if you see man and see humanity above any other thing. So this is why we are calling people. We're not saying that you should just throw it. What we're saying that if you're truly a religious person, that means you're not supposed to hurt anybody, and you're supposed to be a good person, and you're supposed to be a good Nigerian, and you're supposed to know the value of your country above the value that you have seen you attached to yourself. Because even if you are the best imam in Nigeria here, you can't go to Saudi Arabia tomorrow and perform Hajj. You can't go to Jerusalem to perform pilgrimage as a Christian.
Right.
They will ask you first, which country are you coming from, and did you have a visa to come into that? So that's mean country is very, very important to anything you want to do. Even if you want to study medicine in the UK, even if you want to do anything in the world, even if you are going to be a football player somewhere, the first thing they will ask is your career. Even if you are the best musician in Nigeria.
Mr. Bukhari,
Okay.
you know, it's quite interesting when each time I tend to have conversation about youth in politics, youth getting, rallying around to ensure that we, carry our country, aloft. But the question is, a lot of people will say they are worried about the youth. I don't know really whether you're so worried about the youth when it comes to people saying, looking at it from the perspective that those in power, they say they're corrupt, they're this, so to say. Yeah. But those who are outside are even more corrupt than those who are inside. Yeah. So it's just like a case of where those who are even corrupt are waiting for the corrupt people in power to get into the space and also continue with their own corruption. Look at the issue of advanced free fraud. Yeah. We don't let me start mentioning it. And so on and so on. So how do you reorientate the youth generally? Part of it is what you're doing on the channel now. Yeah. But what are these other things that you're putting into consideration?
We have what we want to do to not only to the young men, because any vices that you have talked of, it's just that the situation and the condition of Nigeria is not allowing a good person to be a good person. Good people are not being rewarded. Bad people are being rewarded. We know a lot of people that even win election from where? From prison. You understand? So what we are thinking of is that if you want to talk to the young men, okay, tell them about their future. They are the ones that are going to pay school fees. They are going to pay house rent. They are the ones that are going to have the bad Nigeria. They are the ones that are growing children. The older ones are already there, taken care of by somebody. You understand? Their lives really matters. You understand? If you are taking drugs now, you are the talk now. Tomorrow you are going to be old. You are going to be frail. You don't know even what to do with your life. You understand? If you are sick, you don't have the hospital to go to. What we are telling the young men is that, see, it's something that we can do. What we have as our powers, during all the revolutions and seeing the world, people carry guns and things like that, but we have the phone and we have the internet. If we can leverage on the phone and the internet, you understand, we can communicate to them, we can reach out to them. We use the churches, we use the mosques, and we use everything, you understand, to reach out to them and tell them the basis of life, what their life is supposed to be. You're not supposed to live your life for yourself. Ibrahim, you live your life for people. That's why you're a journalist. Everybody that is listening to me has something. You have to understand that there is a call to you as a person. That's why you are brought into this world. You are not just come to this world just for you to enjoy, or to have a big car, or to just enjoy yourself, have a big house. If you have a thing, that's why in Christianity you pay tithes. Why you pay tithes is that God is telling you that out of the money I give you, there's something that I want you to do with it. This 10% you are giving is just to show the start of it. But the remaining money too is not your own. It's from the God, and you're supposed to do it for the people. So I say, if you're a good doctor, you are in anything you are, let's just start talking to this one. That's why we have a system we want to create. We call it 9 by 5 by 5. But what we realize is that these political parties have only two things against any other person.
Right.
They have the money and they have the structure. So can we as young men create a system that provides money for us to go into politics, and also a structure? So the 9 by 5 by 5 we want to do is that we want to at least recruit ourselves. It's just that we clone ourselves. So 9 people will come together and now say, okay, this is the ideas we want to bring into. These are the new ideas, and we have a projection of 30 to 50 years for us to do this thing. Okay, how do you want to do it? Then we sat down for the last 2 years and we designed this program. It's on our website, and the website
sounds quite interesting.
So what we did, Ibrahim, is that just quickly is that we now said, okay, if we're 9 of us, let each one of us bring 5 people. Right. 9 people, 5 people will be 54. Then that 54 of us, everyone should bring same people the way we think, the people like mine that think like us, another 5. They will make us how many? Will make us now from 270 to 220. So at that moment, you already clone yourselves. You're just 9 of you, clone yourself to 270 at the national level. Then you break yourself into state, and you repeat the same thing. You break yourself into local government, you repeat the same thing. At the moment you read the word, what is 8,809 words, and we do that 270, that's mean at each word we have 270 people that think like us, and they want this Nigeria to be a better place. And then we use the women. You understand? Because it's a collection of both.
I was going to ask that question.
So women are the backbone of what we are going to do. Right. That's why even when we are doing our PBC, continuous voter registration advocacy, and up here in the north, because we know a lot of people cage their women not to go out to participate. But we now recruited women, and we recruited people that will go into their houses, do the pre-registration for them, then bring bus for them, so that that bus will now take them for capture and things like that. So these are you have to start with mindset adjustment. You have to start changing Nigerians' thinking. If I can finish this program by today, and I have just one person that just believes that at least the youth can do it, because it's just strategy. You know, once you have a collection of those people and you have a strategy, for example, if you do 8,809 words, and then we have, if you multiply it with 270 to 220, we have roughly about 2.5 million young men. And 2.5 million that we know we spend away with data at least more than 10,000, 5,000 in a month. So if we now pay 1,000 naira every month, 1,000 naira multiplied by 2.5 million, we are going to have 2.5 billion. So with 2.5 billion, if you do 5 months, that's mean we are going to have 4 months, we are going to have like 10 billion. 10 billion, we can fund anybody that we see, because we're supposed to have a criteria. Okay, we are not saying that it must be a youthful presidency by 2023. But what we say is that we're supposed to be listened to. You understand? We're supposed to have a criteria. We're supposed to have a manifesto from all this ward, because at each ward level we have 270 people that will engage with the stakeholders, talk to the imams, talk to the community leaders, tell them how many young boys are in drugs, how many people are dying for any sickness, or how do you need hospital, do you need road. And when you accumulation of those words, that's what is going to give us the Nigeria that we want.
Makes sense.
Because there is no engagement, and also we want to follow after we now, let's say, because we are going to power you. If we agree that Ibrahim is going to be our next president, we say that powered by we together. Yeah. But we are going to have what is called a monitoring evaluation mechanism after you become the president, so that we now have a checklist for you. In the first year, what have you done? In the second year, so that even in the next 2027, we know whether you're supposed to go back or you're not supposed to go back. And then presidency is not just the issue, because I see majority of young men always shout on the issue of presidency. Presidency is just one person. We need almost 61,000 people, elective and legislative position for us to run the government. So that's mean we have to start recruiting people at the ward level, at the local government level, at all levels, so that at least this. And some of these people are already lecturers now. Some of these are PA to those people. Some of these people are doing the hench work for all this. Even in the allied people and the drug this and that they used to bring during election. We the young men, we connect them with them, so we know the trend. You understand? Because we're just not we didn't trust ourselves, and we didn't believe in ourselves. And then this what we together is coming out to do. To just tell the young men, you have to believe yourself. With yourself, you have to believe and act the way you want it, and you have to be part of those people that will tell the system that this is a Nigeria we want to create, and this is how we want our leadership to be, because we allow it. The word is allowing. If you see somebody become your leader, you allow it. So now, you're not supposed to now take the blame to him. That's why in the slogan of We Together, we said, let's do it ourselves. And you can see our logo is like 3 arrows pointing at one direction. Why do we do that? Because we see that this country is not having direction. And why these arrows, 3 arrows, mean the legislative, executive, and judiciary, the arms of government, having the same direction. The state, local government, and federal government having the same direction. Working together to achieve common goals. Then the rich, the poor, and the middle class. Because the problem we have today is that we don't have the middle class is shrinking. We just have the super rich and the super poor, which is not healthy for any system and for any economy. So our ideology is that how we're going to build in Nigeria where we are now going to swell this middle class, so that we can have at least 150 or 120 to 150 Nigerians that are in the middle class, that can afford basic things in life. If we can achieve this, I think this is the kind of thinking we want the next presidents to come with. We don't want somebody that is coming with the old thinking, because we are going to the future. The metaverse is there, the new internet is there, everything is there. And then we have very young, talented people all across the world. There is no country that is blessed with good minds, good brains, good innovative people like Nigeria. There is none. I've never seen any country like that. But because there is nobody that is bringing that energy together, there is nobody that is bringing that talent together, that innovation together, we will help the world. That's what I'm saying. Nigeria, we are not trying to bring a leader that will just build Nigeria. We are bringing a leader that will build Africa and build the world for humanity. So Nigeria is for humanity. Nigeria has never been built to serve Nigerians. At the mindset, all the resources that God has put into this country, all the brilliant people that God has put in this country is just for one purpose. It's for the country, for the world to benefit from it. Now, what is happening is that other countries are benefiting. The doctors are in some other countries. The good brains are in other countries. And the resources is going to another country. And the Nigerians are not getting from it. That one of my friends always argue this one. If you are a son of Dangote, for example, and somebody come to your compound and see you eating from the dustbin, that means something is wrong. Either your dad has a problem, you are sick, something is wrong. We have all the resources, we have all the people, but look at how we are wallowing in poverty. Everybody don't know what to do tomorrow, what next. Everybody is thinking, who is going to, look, if you come, every time I come to Lagos, I see how people are hustling.
So
if you put this hustling somewhere in the world, you will make it. That's why everybody is making it when you go out of Nigeria.
All right.
But we want the Nigeria to be like that for us.
Mr. Abdulkarim, the reason why I allowed you to, this enough time is because you're making a lot of sense. Let's be factual. But then, if some youth are now watching us at this moment and they feel like, yes, this is a very great initiative, I want to be part of it. So how do I get involved?
Yeah, you go to our website. We have what we call a link where we register people. You tell us where you are coming from, who you are, and you give us but it's based on referral. Why we want it to be based on referral, and we have an open referral number, and then we have a closed referral number. The issue is that we want to know who we are dealing with. For example, if we want to do anything, now we want to have an admin officer that is going to help us. Then we now we now advertise it within ourselves, so that from the CB we understand the kind of person we are going to bring. What we intend to do, if you're registering and you give us up to your ward level, we know where we are going to attach you to. So once we attach you, we know how to deal with you. If you are referred to us by somebody, that's mean if you misbehave or you have a problem. For example, in our subgroup, for example, we try to now look at the boys that are always forwarding things that are not supposed to be forwarded. And people that are doing all this Yahoo, sending this one. So we start to notice young men, we start to notice people at this level. And then we are listening and watching television. We are seeing young men that are trying to see how their society will change. Maybe they don't have a platform. Maybe they don't have a group that they can come together and not join. But what we want to do is that we are not just building this one. I just came back from Nairobi yesterday night, and then in Nairobi we signed a memorandum of understanding with Center for Africa Volunteers. What we want to do is that we want to create another We Together in Kenya. We want to remove another We Together in Ghana, and also maybe in South Africa. This is some of the big.
It's not only a Nigerian.
No, it's not a Nigerian thing. That's what, if we think of Nigerian thing, then we miss it in even trying to who are going to adopt to be our president, because we have to see somebody that has that global view, somebody that now sees Nigeria beyond Nigeria, so that if he sees Nigeria only Nigeria, then he's now going to reduce himself to I'm a Yoruba, I'm a Igbo, I'm so person. But if we want him to see himself as above, a leader that is going to above something, so that if you're thinking of a Nigerian airline, he's thinking of Nigerian that will assist the whole of Africa. If he's thinking of a railway, he's thinking of a railway that will assist Africa. So if there's anything that he wants to do, we want him to have that bigger picture. So if you have a bigger picture, it's easier now to put the smaller things in places, because we already going to give you 270 people at each ward level. At each ward level, for example, me, even as a convener, I'm not going to operate just at the national level. I'm going to operate at my ward. So during election, during anything, during any consultation, stakeholder engagement, I'm going to work at my ward. So if you be a member, you are going to work in your ward, and they used to see you on television. So when you go to your ward, trying to tell them this is what we're supposed to do, we can't be getting it wrong. For example, if you want to invite people for what they call it for interview here, you select the best. You put up criteria, you put up even a panel. Then why in the leadership of this country we just allow it to anybody to come and take? And also what makes us sometimes a little bit too agitated, we say, how can you reduce us to Naira and Kobo? How can just put somebody because he's having money, he feels he can rule the country? We're supposed to be something that guides you. There's supposed to be value. Some of this
got money, and you've also got something.
Even if you don't have money, Ibrahim, today, as I told you, that if you can make 10 billion Naira, we can rally behind you. We can support you. We can even push you at any level. Come and be our House of Representatives. I don't have money. We have the money, and we have the ideas, and we have the system. And so some of these guys are coming from Europe. Some of them are coming from America. They will all assist you. But these are the things we want to legislate into the system. These are the kind of work we want to do for our country. Because you are a young person, you can understand us. We can relate. Look at how much. But if it's an elder person that is not doing the interview with me now, you will see the difference. You will see that maybe I'm just being too ambitious. But if we have internet, for example, anything I want to do, even if I said I want to produce an aeroplane, the first thing I would just go to Google it, look at what it is, see the company that wants it, send them an email. They send me an email. I reply the email. They ask me about, did I have money? I tell them what I have. They register. It's easy. And even the registration in corporate affairs is now online. So it's not like they are on time. Our time is different. The way we want to do things is different. So actually we need somebody at least that can connect to us, that can understand us, and somebody that can show love, empathy, respect, somebody that have the competence for him to do whatever, integrity. These are some of the things that we want our next leaders to have, but just not because you have money or you have somebody that is backing you, or somebody that said that you should come. Because I see a lot of people, the first criteria, you become a custom officer, you retire, or you become a police officer, you retire, or become a civil servant, you retire. The first thing people will start to tell you, contest. Then you just have to ask yourself, why should I contest? When you just contest because they say you have the money. So what is the money going to? That's why we are not getting it right. But if we lock the system, locking the system that we always say We Together is that we lock people at the ward level. Because every election start and finish at the ward level. So let's lock the system at the work level, and also make sure that we are genuine. Let's make sure that at least we are transparent, and let's make it open. Even our collection of money, that's the crowdfunding system that we want to do. Everything will be at our dashboard. So you can see it. If we spend it, you will see it. And we have done the unveiling in Kano. We are doing the unveiling this Saturday in Lagos. And we are going to go to all geopolitical zones. And we are going to do our final rally on the 26th of March in Abuja in Eagle Square. What we just want is just to rally the young men and let the best out of us. That's not me and not the people that are running it, but let the best of us lead us. Because if we want to tell these people to
not exactly the youth, not exactly you putting your weight, throwing your weight behind the youth, but it could be someone you identify that you feel that this person will achieve a great result for us even though we are youth, the person could be somebody who is, elderly. Is that what you're saying?
First thing is us. Unless we can get that person among ourselves, unless if we lag that we refuse to agree to bring out somebody, or we refuse to have the criteria, we don't have anybody that now fit the criteria that we want, then we will now put the same energy, but we have to negotiate. And powers is about negotiation. You understand? No matter how far you go on the war side, at the end. But what we want to tell Nigerian youth is one thing. No matter what happened, 2023, there should never be violence. They should never fight each other. They will never destroy anything. Anything that they ban is their own property and is their own money. So they should quickly join up with this kind of movement, make sure that at least we bring the sensible members, because out of that, it's something million you have now announced. We just want to go for 2.3 or 2.5 of them, because we just want the coordinated ones, the thinking ones, the good ones to come fast. You understand? So that they can lift the other ones that are weak, to lift the other ones that are using drugs, and those that don't know what they want onto the platform. So this is exactly what we want to achieve. I think if the young men give us that cooperation, we give them the small leadership that we have, then we put them everything together, and then we have a better Nigeria for ourselves.
Makes sense. I love the fact that you said something very closely related to thinking globally and acting locally, especially when you say that it's not only in Nigeria, it's also going to be on other African soil. Well, convener, we together, Ibrahim Abubakar, it's quite an insightful moment. Abdulkarim, rather. Ibrahim Abdulkarim, thank you so much for speaking with us on TBC Breakfast.
Thank you for having me.